down like a mile.
Oh.
Y'all ready? All right. Better Tuesday practice than last Tuesday. A lot better. The intent was a lot better. I liked what we did on the practice field compared to last Tuesday a lot more. And I think you could see the way we played last Saturday was maybe impacted by how average our Tuesday practice was in some areas. But thought some good things today. Excited about the matchup. They're a really good football team. North Texas, scoring top 10 in the country, total yardage top 10 in the country. They're opportunistic on defense, make a lot of big plays. They're good in the kicking game. The number 10, the punt return receiver, and he's returns some kicks too. He's off the charts good. So got a really big time challenge this week in these guys, and got to go on the road and do it on their homecoming. So, but excited about the matchup.
Okay, that's great. You talk about their offense, just how high-powered they are. Their explosiveness, 675-plus yard touchdowns this season. I mean, how are you preparing for that, and what kind of test is that for your defense?
Yeah, they had, 2 back-to-back, like first play of last week and the second play of last week, 2 75-yard touchdowns, first 2 plays of the game, 150 yards of offense. That's pretty potent. The tempo they run plays with affects you, but the players and the plays they run are good. They got great schemes, and they've got fantastic athletes to get the ball to in space. I think their quarterback's playing at a really high level. And then this number 10, the slot receiver, I think's probably as explosive as anybody in the country right now. And so it is a really big challenge for our defense. We've got to make sure we stay on top of things. We have to tackle well in space, leverage the football, play clean with our eyes. They kind of get some guys lost maybe with some motion or some vertical stuff they do. So we got to be on top of things and be assignment, detailed, sound, and they're a challenge though. I mean, I think they've scored more than 40 points in 5 of their 7 games, and in one of the games they didn't, they scored 35, and then the other game they didn't, they scored 21 against Texas Tech. So far playing great defense against them has been a 21-point outcome and a 35-point outcome, which that wins a lot of games for most teams. So real challenge.
The issue of explosive plays, but then also just the issue of effort in practice last week. I thought a play that exemplified effort really well was Kevin Adams chasing down Dean Connors on that long run. That was an explosive play. It ended up, though, being a turnover on downs with, I believe, a pass breakup by Micah Robinson. So what do those kind of moments really do for the defense and show that message of effort? Yeah,
I think that you look back through the year and, a couple plays Jonathan Edwards has strained to tackle a ball carrier that's broken free. And them understanding, like, get the ball down and let's play the next snap and see what happens and make them earn it. Don't concede. Don't give up. And I think the way the guys practiced today emulated that. I thought they did a good job of running the ball and getting set. But you can't ever assume anything. You have to make the stop and make them have to earn an opportunity to score. And defense is about effort about half the time. I mean, the schemes are the schemes, but it's about playing hard. And we've got to continue to play hard on defense. I thought that covered up some mistakes last week. We didn't play real clean or flawless in any manner, but the guys played really hard on defense, and I thought that made up some mistakes along with the turnovers.
You haven't really played an offense like this year. How much of a factor is that? I mean, you haven't gone into an opponent that was this explosive in the passing.
Yeah, it's very unique. The tempo is like South Florida, but South Florida was more of a quarterback run-driven team. This team will run the ball for 160 yards a game too, so they run it really well, but they're so explosive in the pass game, and they've got multiple receivers that can beat you. The quarterback, like I said already, I think he's playing at an elite level right now. He was the starter at TCU the year they went to the national title and got injured. It's like he's a big-time player. He's not just some Johnny-come-lately. I mean, it's Chad Morris's son, and he's a phenomenal player, knows where to go with the football, has a really good arm. He's a better runner than people probably give him credit for. You don't see people just stop him. I mean, so it's a real problem. I mean, it's something we got to play really good just to have a chance to slow him down at all.
Mekhi Hughes, 40 yards in the first half, averaged 4 yards a carry. Second half, 100 yards, 5.9 yards a carry. How much did that really, you talk about this blue-collar mentality that you really want to put forward, and this game really was a slog to start. The offensive line and running back room really coming together. What did that really do for what you want to put forward?
Yeah, obviously a lot of the story of the day was the drops we had on offense, but I think when the pass game's not going good, you have to be able to hang your hat on the run game, and I think our offensive line and Mekhi, really in particular in the fourth quarter, they took the game over. That drive, I think we had 70 yards on 7 runs. Mekhi had 5 of them. And they sort of imposed their will in regards to how we were going to finish the game. And that was a gritty way to finish the game. It wasn't, by no means was it a great performance by us, but it was our guys finding a way to win and really just on the ground, methodically, just creating big plays after big play after big play to go score to take the lead, which it's encouraging. If your O-line's playing at a high level and your running backs play at a high level, it makes everybody's job easier, and it makes your defense's job easier. So the run game has to continue to, do what it did at the end of the game. We need to be able to throw and catch a lot better than we threw and caught last week, though.
Tyler Grubb's pass defense this year has he's gone up a couple of notches. I mean, you weren't here last year, but still, how much has that helped your defense?
Yeah, Grubbs is a phenomenal player. I think he would tell you the work that Coach Polk puts in with him. I think Taylor Polk's as good a linebacker coach as there is. He's like a son to me, and I think him and Grubbs have a great relationship. And the detail in which Grubbs is really addressed in his drops in the coverage game in a lot of areas, I think he has taken some huge strides forward in a lot of areas of his game. But the pass coverage area, I think it's been fun to watch. He's got the pick last week, had an opportunity to get the other one. Like he's making plays. He's doing some things at a high level, and I think he's elevating his game each and every week. That it?
I know it's always one game at a time, 1 week at a time, but these back-to-back road games and a short week, does that change your preparation at all this week, or is everything all dealt with next week in terms of how you may make adjustments there?
It changes really more into the next week. This week's somewhat a normal schedule for us. We might pull back on a thing or two, but not a lot. The only person, it affects me and our ops people as much as anybody to plan how we're using next week. Very fortunate to have been in situations the last couple of years where we've played a Saturday and then a Thursday, and it's worked most of the time, and so we've kind of got a formula. But my mind's so focused on this week. We do have a plan. Really, going back to May and June is really when I already sat down and worked through what does that plan look like. If you wait until this week and figure out, all right, what are we going to do next week? Well, then you're kind of not doing your job very well. You're a little bit late to the planning part of it. So we've planned what this week and next week looks like going back to the summertime, and it is a challenge. Going on the road back-to-back and then in a short week, that's not easy. But all we can control is what's right in front of us, and the theme to our guys this week's been be where your feet are, and really Saturday will control itself, but I want to make sure I have a great week of preparation.
Playing in a blowout is one thing, but after Javion White got the start last week and played pretty well, how comfortable are you playing a true freshman and giving Caleb Bransaw a blow once he's back?
Yeah, I'm not. You're always a little nervous when you're playing a true freshman for his first extended snaps. It's one thing if he's playing spot duty within the flow of a game, playing 3 or 4 snaps here and there, maybe spelling or subbing a guy out. For him to take the lion's share of the snaps and start the game and play at the level he played, very impressive. I think it'll pay dividends for him the rest of the year and the development of his career, fast track maybe his development a little bit. Excited to have Caleb back this week, but Javion's really stepped up. Caleb only played, I think, 3 snaps in the UAB game, and it wasn't many. And then Javion and Jaden Lewis played the majority at that position the rest of the game and last week. So those guys really for the last, couple weeks have kind of held that position down. Ransall's an elite level player, and it's good to have him back at practice, but I'm excited about those young players getting some opportunities to go grow and go play. And you come here to play, and it's fun to watch their development. Good? Awesome. Thank y'all.